This video examines the Hoke Trial, a significant case involving the constitutionality of federal power and the fight against human trafficking. At the heart of the case is the Mann Act, also known as the White Slave Traffic Act of 1910. The case, United States v. Hoke, was a federal criminal prosecution under the Mann Act, heard in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Louisiana from 1911 to 1912. Frederick Hoke was accused of arranging and financing the interstate transportation of women for commercial sex work, challenging Congress's authority to regulate morality through the Commerce Clause. The Mann Act of 1910 was a legislative landmark, making it a federal crime to transport women or girls across state lines for immoral purposes. The Mann Act's passage was supported by social reformers like the Women's Christian Temperance Union. Although effective, the act later faced controversies regarding its broadness and targeting of marginalized communities. Despite early controversies, the Mann Act remained a critical tool against human trafficking. It was amended in 1978 and continues to be used today against various forms of modern slavery. We now turn to the 1913 trial and the prosecution phase of the Hoke case. The prosecution argued that transporting women across state lines for prostitution constitutes interstate commerce, and Congress has the power to regulate or prohibit such harmful interstate activities under the Commerce Clause. Sarah Smith, testifying under a pseudonym, detailed how Hoke allegedly seduced, transported, and confined her, providing crucial evidence of coercion and abuse. Dr. Eleanor L. Whitcomb, an expert on women's health, testified about Smith's physical and psychological trauma, reinforcing the prosecution's argument that Hoke's actions were part of systemic abuse. Witness Samuel L. Beckett, a former private investigator, revealed Hoke's prior consultation with an attorney regarding the Mann Act, which the prosecution used to imply intent and knowledge of legal risks. Next, we examine the Hoke defense witnesses and their counterarguments in the 1913 trial. The defense argued that morality and prostitution fall under state, not federal, police power. They claimed the Mann Act was unconstitutional, overly broad, and the alleged conduct was not commerce. Reverend Elias T. Whitmore testified about Hoke's excellent reputation, charitable work, and standing as a community pillar, attempting to humanize the defendant and discredit the prosecution's narrative. Longtime friends Mary and Henry Carson provided character evidence, describing Hoke as a responsible citizen with no indication of exploitation, supporting the defense's strategy to undermine the allegations. Dr. Albert Hargrave testified that Smith showed no signs of injury or forced confinement during initial interviews, suggesting her later accusations might have been exaggerated or fabricated. The U.S. District Court upheld the Mann Act, rejecting Hoke's challenge, leading to his conviction. The U.S. Supreme Court later affirmed, confirming Congress's power to prohibit interstate transportation for exploitative purposes. The Hoke prosecution cemented the federal government's authority under the Commerce Clause to combat harmful interstate activities,